I'm Diane Sare, and I'm one of the 6 LaRouche Democrats running for U.S. Congress, and I'm standing here in Hackensack, New Jersey. This is my street, and this is the wake of Hurricane Irene, and we were not hit here nearly as badly as many other parts of the country, and really we've suffered little compared to what happened earlier this summer with the floods from Montana to Missouri, the tornadoes. And what you have all around, and particularly here behind me, is the evidence calling for the urgently necessary removal of President Barack Obama from office. Now, you might argue, well, that's not really fair. He didn't cause the hurricane. But actually, he has utter disinterest in the principles of the Constitution, starting first and foremost with a commitment to the general welfare. So Tuscaloosa, Alabama has not been rebuilt as far as I know. Joplin, Missouri, he couldn't stop playing ping pong at Buckingham Palace to get back to the country in time. And I have to say, New Jersey, a great deal of our state is swampland. In fact, this area is very low. The Hackensack River is right over there to my left, and I think George Washington was in this area as early as the late 1700s. So it's really not a mystery that this is land which is prone to flooding, but somehow in the last decade, absolutely zero has been done in terms of that kind of infrastructure. And not only that, President Obama personally has been engaged in an absolutely criminal takedown of NASA, of the space program, of the satellites, which would give us forewarning of such intense weather activity. And frankly, we just don't really know all that much about it. We have not done the research. The most up-to-date research on the planet you can see on the LaRouche PAC website, and the weather forecasts of Peter Martinson, the interview with the Russian scientist Sergei Pulinets on earthquake precursors, but we have a president who really couldn't care less. So it should be clear, because you might take this flood behind me as the metaphor for what's happening to the global financial system. And Obama cares exactly as little about the meltdown of the transatlantic financial system as he cares about the state of infrastructure in the United States. What the 6 of us LaRouche Democrats are proposing, and LaRouche has reiterated in a 7-point program on his weekly report, is number 1, the immediate removal of President Barack Obama from office on the grounds of his insanity and incompetence to serve. That's Section 4 of the 25th Amendment. The reinstatement of FDR's Glass-Steagall Act. That would stop the hemorrhaging. It would stop the hyperinflationary bailouts of the London and Wall Street speculators. And it would create a situation where you could get credit, which is desperately needed, flowing into our cities and states. And that would allow the construction of what has been on our website and will be very much in the future, the North American Water and Power Alliance, which is primarily a massive water management project which would transform the entire United States, and it would change the thinking of our population, who tends now to have become so brainwashed that you think, or at least our president says, that this is an act of nature and you can't do anything about it. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. This never should have happened. I hold President Barack Obama personally responsible for the hardship being suffered by millions of Americans across the country. We have 4 million Americans without electricity right now, and I would urge those of you watching to join us, remove Obama from office, reinstate Glass-Steagall, and launch the kind of crash program building water management infrastructure that's so desperately needed around the country, and would employ millions of young Americans who are currently right now thrown on the scrap heap.